Live here in just a minute. All right, says we're good. Should be good. There we go. Getting that in there. Get that. Slide this over. Pop that open. Hey, a notification. Getting everything up. How's everybody doing? Hopefully quite well. All one person. What's up, politics? Yeah, most people, other than like 2 or other people, start 0-1. With the Steelers losing, obviously. Or winning. What's up, Daniel? Us big brain intellectuals, though, who picked the Steelers are 1-0. Some of us just, know ball to a really high degree. And sadly, I'm one of them people. I didn't choose to be the genius, but everyone said, no, the Titans are going to win. And I said, I'm sorry, but I am a Pickett guy. Well, that's why you don't bet the house on a rookie quarterback on a short week against a top 5 defense. Finger guns. That's literally why I didn't pick the Titans. If this was like a Sunday game, and I would have picked the Titans. I literally think what doomed Tennessee was the short week. And that's like, what is that? Will Levis's first, first start? Because technically Malik Willis started the other game against Tennessee or Atlanta. What's up, Ven? What's with the all I was talking about was my football genius. I'm sorry, who'd you pick? Tennessee? No, just kidding, Ven. It's going to be a fun week. This is one of the hardest weeks of football I think I've ever seen. Next week is hilarious. Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, because, my big football brain is highly always good. I'm going undefeated this week, 14-0. It's written in the sky. By the way, if you haven't dropped a like, consider doing so. Help the stream out, if you don't mind, everybody. People say couldn't see pressure coming out of college. Yeah, the pressure thing. He did good versus the pressure, though. Will Levis played good, except for that last pick. Respectable game. Oh, dude, it's not a big deal. Like, everybody picked the Titans to win. The Steelers are a very bad offense that lives off their defense. And if they can play a game against a team like the Titans, they'll probably win. Like, that's kind of like, we kind of know who the Titans and the Steelers are now in this season. We know that the Steelers can beat those kind of teams that are like, like kind of like the Titans. Like it's like they'll somehow win. But like if they play like a good team, I don't know. The Steelers are really good. I don't know what to describe. What are the Steelers? Are they good? Are they lucky? It feels like if they were lucky, they wouldn't keep winning the way that they do. What do we think of the Steelers? Like, their offense sucks. We know this. Kenny Pickett, whatever the fuck his last name is. Spelled Pickett, said Pickett, but Pickett sounds way cooler. Yeah, it's weird. It's like they're literally like one of the best defenses in football, but like, and their coaching is so good. Remember when everyone last year was saying that Mike Tomlin was on the hot seat? And I kept fighting. Like, I think we were on this channel really good about not playing into that weird hyperbolic shit around Mike Tomlin. But do you remember how like everybody was like, are the Steelers going to fire Mike Tomlin? And we were like, no. They don't fire anybody. He's had no bad seasons. What are they going to fire him for? Then he finished over 500 and everybody was like, I guess they're not going to fire him. Yeah, why would they? And now he's got this team at 5-3. This man's going to get a massive extension after this season. The offense may be bad, but they do have good receivers. Yeah, it's just like their offense. I think what it is the line is so bad that they don't have time to let the plays develop that they need to let the plays develop. Also, a little bit of discipline issues like always in Pittsburgh. Mike Tomlin's a little too like cool about letting the players do whatever they want there. Yeah, Canada, bad O-line. It's a combination of things. McDaniels, nah. I have a feeling McDaniels only has like one option, maybe two. He might end up in college. I wouldn't be too shocked about that. Or the Patriots probably. I don't really see another team letting McDaniels come in anymore. He has to go do a year of rehab with the Patriots. Kind of like how Patricia had to. Plus, the Patriots will just let him come do full offensive like control. You know what I mean? They're just be like, all right, come on back. Especially since you don't got to pay him. So I don't know if they'd want McDaniels at Michigan. Yeah, I think I wonder if McDaniels also kind of what Ven just said. I wonder if he realizes now he's just not a head coach. Like, there's nothing wrong with just being a great coach. Look at how many old defensive coordinators there are. They all got head coaching jobs at some point in the NFL, but like it kind of, blew up and collapsed on them, and they're like, I guess I just can't do that job. Look at someone like Wade Phillips, really good defensive coordinator. He was just not a great head coach. Eric Mangini was a great offensive coordinator, miserable head coach, and then he blew his shot at ever getting a job again in the NFL. Hey, thank you for the 6 likes, by the way. Great start. Yeah. So we'll see where I'm guessing he winds just back to an offensive coordinator work because he's a great coordinator. Seems to understand offense when it's just offense he has to focus on. But yeah, McDaniels, his career as a head coach is probably done. And again, he's such like a caustic personality and such like a shitlord person. I don't even know if he'd work in college because why would you like as a kid want to go play for a very unfun place? You know what I mean? When there's so many better options with like actual like Georgia looks fun. Even if you have to work hard obviously, but like it's like an NFL portal. It looks like it's a good time. Like all those really good schools look like they have a lot of good fun while playing football. And McDaniels, I don't think he believes in fun when he's the head coach. I go to one of the your streams, I automatically like it because I got in the routine now. Hey, I appreciate you liking the streams, man. I really do appreciate it. Wait, who did? Yeah, he thought loose links. Oh yeah, are you talking about Mangini? Yeah, Dolphins Chiefs. Yeah, I'll be live streaming that game. Should be good. We have a couple more minutes before we hop into the games. I like to wait like 10 minutes and then we get in. And let people who want to show up. Yeah, that's like literally like the game of the weekend, and it's on that fucking stupid Germany game. I don't know why they did that one. I guess bring up potentially like high because next week's a real German game. Need Bills and Chargers to win for seeding. What's up, Seth? Yeah, Eagles versus Cowboys is pretty good. I just like the idea of the Tyreek Hill revenge game coming up. Watch him have his worst game as a pro. He gets like one catch. Because there is like a weird opportunity or a weird thing where like the Chiefs know him better than possibly the Patriots do somehow. And I don't know, what if they just shut his ass down? That's like the weirdest thing that's on my mind. I'm like, what if Tyreek Hill just does nothing against the Chiefs? And it's just one of the weirdest situations. Like he has like 4 catches for like 80 yards. Maybe a singular touchdown. That'd be not a great game from him. Be like, what happened? I don't like that the Chiefs just showed up to Germany like last night, though. That's never a good thing. I'm pretty sure every team that shows up early wins in these across the seas games. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The Denver Broncos always play the Chiefs really hard. Plus, Mahomes had the flu that game. So, what's up, Space? All right, in a minute we can start the actual discussion of the games. For some reason, FanDuel won't load for me, so I don't have the lines available. It's really just giving me a 502 error, and I'm like, well, what the hell? I hope my team wins tomorrow. We play the fucking Commanders. They just traded away their whole good parts of their defense, so I think we can steal this shit. Apparently the Commanders, I'm kind of jumping ahead. We're not doing that game. I'm just kind of, but apparently the Commanders give up the 6th most passing yards per game, right? They're bottom 5 in terms, or like bottom 6 in terms of like pass yards allowed, which is like 280 or something, 290. And apparently, Mac Jones, when he plays against those kind of defenses, he does actually really well. He has his best games. He averages about 245 pass yards per games in those games. So there's a good shot we could see a Mac Jones, rare Mac Jones super game. Especially now that the fucking Commanders, I don't think they're going to have a whole pass rush. Or, I mean, like, they got Jonathan Allen still. But, you know. Oh, and by the way, the Bears didn't make a bad trade for Montez Sweat. He signed a 4-year, like, $90 million extension the other night. Michigan's, wow, that's a surprise. I wonder how many signs they had to steal. USC and Washington. Oh, are you a believer in Michael Penix now, Fen? He's either the best or the second best quarterback in this draft. I'm a little concerned. Does Caleb Williams really have 30 turnovers this year? 30? Did I hear that number correct? He's fumbled or thrown 30 interceptions. Oh, I didn't know if you were a Penix guy. A lot of people were doubting my son in support of him. I seen about 4 throws and I went, all right, I'm all in on this dude. He rules. You fix that throwing motion from that Penix kid, and that's Lamar Jackson from the left side. No, it wasn't a bad trade, especially now that the Bears extended him. That's a really good trade. I would. It's like, yeah, that's a good pickup. The only problem with that trade was if he didn't re-sign with Chicago, and I thought he was going to Atlanta like everybody else did. But apparently, if you offer him 4 years and $90 million, he said, fuck Atlanta, fuck Georgia. We're going to stay here in Illinois. And that's where he's going. That's about as quick as that decision making went. They went, we'll give you $90 million. And he went, you know, what's up, Kenny? And he went, you know what? I guess we'll just stay here in Chicago. Yeah, it's a second round. It's essentially saying, it's like, can you get a better player than Sweat with your second round pick as high as they're drafting? That's basically what they're kind of saying. And they're going, nope. And I kind of agree. It's like you're getting like a borderline all pro. If he's already all pro, then like one of them weird, like if he continues at the rate he's going, he may get in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? He's like a borderline kind of player already. You know what I mean? Like he's on that trajectory to be one of those guys that are like, hey, maybe this guy gets into the Hall. I like the trade the Tigers made. We can discuss it more in the Discord, Kenny. Texans may lose tomorrow. Possibly, yeah. Tampa's going to be tough. And I think, okay, let's get started on the actual game. So I don't want to like jump to random ones. Yeah, Ben, it does feel like the Bears are trying to win now, but I think they also needed to improve their defense. So it's like with that second pick, maybe they were already thinking about getting a defensive player. So now they kind of already made that selection. So that's fine. No, Kenny, you're fine. Don't worry about it. Dolphins and Chiefs. I believe the Chiefs are favored in this game, but I don't really think it matters because it's on like a neutral field. We have no idea who the Germans are going to be favoring. It could be the Chiefs, could be the Dolphins. I'm guessing because Germany really likes the Patriots. I'm guessing the Chiefs because they're not going to like Miami. That's literally my best guess on who's going to be like more favored. Because if you don't know, the Patriots have like this weird, huge following in Germany. We're actually the German market team for the Germans. The Patriots are. It's like the weirdest fucking. We have like a ton of fans. You know, when you're as good as we've been, you know. So looking at that, you know, there might be a slight advantage for the Dolphins at home. Or, you know, for the Chiefs, they might have a slight like home advantage, if you want to call it that, just because Miami might have like a weird built-in hostility just because of the Patriots fandom there, if that makes any sense at all. I know it probably doesn't, but because I know they probably don't know. Like they're like, ooh, this team's really good. Miami's fun to watch, yeah. Shit in my mouth, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a gross game. I don't really like the German people. The direct Germans. I like the Austrians. I like the Dutch. I like the people who live in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, you know. I like the Holland people, but the people who live in like where this game's gonna be, they're like the shit people. So we have to, you know, hopefully they're not talking about poo-poo all game. Little nervous. Never really watched European football. This isn't a really good breakdown of the game. This is just more about like my nervousness about watching German people around football. What's up, Jacob? Ben, what's the score in that Washington game, USC game? Is it still tied? It was like a classic shootout last time I seen. It was like 28-28. All right, so thinking about this game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs with what, a top 5 defense. I think they're ranked number 2, maybe 5, number 6. It's one of those situations. It's 2, 5, or 6. I can't remember which specific ranked defense that we would have these Kansas City Chiefs at. 45-42. Jesus. Somebody just took the lead. Let's go Washington. Woo. All right. So we have, and then the Dolphins defense is like in the 15 through 25 range. I don't remember exactly where the defense is, but I know that the Chiefs have a significantly better defense than the Dolphins do. And part of the reason why the Chiefs are actually 6-2, believe it or not, despite a couple blowout wins against really bad football teams like the Bears and one time versus the Broncos, which, you know, whatever. All their other games are really close games that have been effectively decided by their defense. It's been against good teams. I mean, even Detroit, when they lost, was a 21-20 game, which Detroit, you know, won by a point. So it's not, and that's, you know, Detroit's offense, which is like 2nd and 8. It's like 2nd run and then 8th pass. So again, we know that the Chiefs can play good defense. They can shut down explosive offenses. We've seen that this year out of them. Again, even in the loss, we've seen what they're able to do to an explosive team like Detroit. Meanwhile, again, with Miami, it's like, we know they're a very good team. They blow teams out. They beat the bad teams like you're supposed to beat the bad teams, right? But when they played it, dude, it's the games against the Bills and the Eagles where I'm just like, so they play a team that's competent on both sides of the ball, and suddenly Miami they can't get ahead with this dominant lead, so their defense can't play kind of weird, and it's just like, it's like this weird tension, and I don't, you know what I mean? It's just like. Well, Jalen's back, but he doesn't cover tight ends. What, is Jalen suddenly going to start covering Travis Kelce and just get the shit kicked out of him all game? I think the Dolphins defense will look worse because they're not going to be able to get up on Casey. The thing is, like, and again, I get that Jalen Ramsey's back, but to me, it almost did like, all right, he's going to cover Rashee Rice or fucking Mecole Hardman. They don't really throw to those guys like that anyway. They're going to just throw it to Travis Kelce. Who's covering Kelce in this game? They have like weird issues with like, I don't know. It's just like this weird. I haven't really seen much from the Dolphins this year against a team like Kansas City where they proved to me that they could like be that team still. I don't think Ramsey plays physical enough football to play safety. Where they go for 2 touchdowns and the defense just pins its ears back? Yeah, basically, yeah. You think Ramsey will be covering Kelce? Really? Am I in the wrong here? Am I in the wrong? I could be. Why do I think that Kelce won't be covered by Ramsey? Does Ramsey ever cover tight ends? I don't think I've ever. I guess we haven't really seen him play a team in that. But the Rams played the Bengals, so I didn't really get the chance to see that matchup in the Super Bowl. And they still had a tie at that point, so. Damn. I'm trying to think here. Like, would Ramsey go cover Kelce? By a field goal. I'm still going to go with the Chiefs because, again, I think the Chiefs defense shuts down the Dolphins offense or at least keeps it a really close game. And I don't think Miami plays well in close games, but I know the Chiefs can play well in close games. I trust Mahomes in his offense in a close game and a tight game dominated kind of by really good defensive play by maybe either team. I could see the Dolphins defense really doing a number on Kansas City's sort of limited offense this year. But again, in a tight, close game, I trust the coaching of the Chiefs, the players of the Chiefs, far more than I trust a kind of younger, upstart Dolphins team. Politics, no offense. Again, it's nothing against the Dolphins, but again, it's more who I trust in a closer game, right? If you would have told me that the Dolphins and Chargers game was going to be very tight, I'd have picked you guys to win 100% 1,000 times over. Because again, I would say I trust your team and your coaches more in a low scoring or high scoring tight game than I would Brandon Staley and his Chargers, who've consistently just shit the bed every opportunity they've gotten at those moments. You know what I mean? Like, if that makes any sense. It's just like the situations in my head to me just keep saying that the Chiefs are going to be like in most, unless the Dolphins boat race this team, I feel like the Dolphins are going to come up just a bit short. I think it's going to be a real close game, like you're saying, but I kind of like the Chiefs in this one, like 27-21 kind of score. Again, maybe the Dolphins. Again, this is a very big statement game. If Miami can win this game, they basically tell everyone to shut their goddamn mouths, and no one can really talk. The Chargers have good players. It's just the coaching is so bad, which is hilarious because Staley's supposed to be a defensive guru. Like, Bill Belichick's team may suck, but our defense is rather solid for having a bunch of backups. Like, we'll never have a bad defense because Bill's actually a defensive genius. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, none of the players on Miami likes it, which is weird. I don't know why the coaches agreed to that. Stephen Ross is a jackass. They showed him out. The HBO offered him a fucking bag, and he went, "Yeah, we'll do it." Yeah, I feel bad for Staley. He needs to go back to being a coordinator for a little while, maybe learn the game of football. And you know what? That's really the thing with Staley. I don't even think he'll be a bad head coach one day. I think what happened with Brandon Staley, he's way too young. Like, because like he spawned in as a defensive coordinator, and then a year later he's a head coach. I swear it was like a 2-year run for this dude. Like, I never heard of him. He had that #1 defense in 2020, like you pointed out. And then he was a head coach, and it's like, where the fuck did this guy come from? What college was he at? It's like, oh, he just spawned in. The simulation made him last week. I was like, what? Who's Brandon Staley? I never really heard of the guy until he got to chart. I was like, who's Brandon Staley? I thought he was a player. I was like, yeah, the Chargers already have a quarterback named Justin Herbert. Why is everyone telling me they hired Brandon Staley? That sounds like some quarterback. McDaniels, yeah, he'll be back in New England doing offensive coordinator work. Yeah, the Rams defense was loaded. What's up, Kevin? Yeah, I would definitely 100% try the breadsticks from Little Caesars. It might be the best thing they make with the marinara sauce. You guys probably got to fire or hire a real head coach like Harbaugh. All right, that's probably about my thoughts on the Chiefs Dolphins. Is everyone get their thoughts out? I think we have one Dolphins. I'm going Chiefs. No one else made their picks. Yeah, their breadsticks are really good from Little Caesars, and they're like $3. They're the shits. Yeah, we'll move on. Chiefs, yeah. Oh, wow, me and Ven agree. Then I hope you don't have any hostility or think I'm being a dick or anything. I pick on you. That's just because you normally react. But I do respect most of your football takes, except about the Patriots. You're usually pretty wrong about that, but it's okay. You got the hater issue. It's the Germany game, but yes, point still stands. Yeah, you're usually pretty good, but then you talk about the Patriots, and I'm like, oh, here comes the Nick Wright in him. Wingstop Monday night. Yeah, that's a good thing to get. Dude, that's gonna be a weird game. The Chargers and Jets are gonna I can't wait to talk about that one. I'm so sorry the way I picked that game. Ben Wright. Oh, don't do that, Mike. That's me, and I was just fucking with him. Oh no, I wouldn't. I'm Ben actually has good takes though. I wouldn't call him that. When I was the only one who was wrong about the Patriots in the offseason, everyone was saying we're going to finish last under 500. I was like, yeah, suck a dick. No, we aren't. It's like, oh, damn, maybe I should have fucking paid attention. I didn't think the line was that bad. Guess it was. I guess having one position not filled on the line is enough to sink it. Son of a bitch. I literally used to believe that having 4 good offensive linemen was enough. I guess you need all 5. My theory has been disproven for the first time ever about offensive lineman construction. I really thought I had nailed something because I used to think the Patriots had 4 good linemen and 1 shitty one. It was always the right tackle. I don't get it. Hey, dang, we have 12 likes. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I know you did, Ven. I know. I'm just giving you shit. All right, Vikings and the Falcons, because this next game isn't very fun to talk about. Yeah, has had the same 4 linemen in the field. No, we've had a different lineman every week. Yeah, of course Michigan's 9-0. Of course. Vikings and Falcons. 2-4-4 teams. Possibly 2-4-4 teams in the wrong direction. Obviously, the Vikings were heading in a perfect direction before the Achilles tendon injury for Kirk Cousins. Very unfortunate injury. They'll be going with Jaren Hall and possibly Josh Dobbs in this game. Kind of like a duo thing, but probably just Jaren Hall. Against the Falcons at home, so you kind of have that weird magic there. Very good running team. They're going with Taylor Heineke, I believe. I'm going with the Falcons, man. I can't find any information. There's no visual tape on Jaren Hall. Who is this guy? Does anybody know who this guy is? That could actually be very dangerous, but they don't have, if they had Justin Jefferson back, I'd pick the Vikings all day in this game. I'd be like, dude, Jaren Hall is going to have the greatest game in NFL history because no one knows what he can do. There is no tape on this human being that exists anywhere. I looked because I wanted to see what he could do, and I was like, there's just nothing. But that would be so dangerous if you had Justin Jefferson because you have no idea how this guy can throw it. So you have no idea if he can run, if he can throw, if he could do both. So you're like, there's these like weird things that like a defense like has to prepare for in the quarterback. What do you prepare for with a guy that you have nothing? What if he can throw like 70, 80 yards off his back foot scrambling? The fuck do you prepare for that? You really can't, but again, if you don't know he can do that, that's going to be a murk job. And again, that could happen in this game with guys like Jordan Addison. Oh no, I feel like I'm talking myself into picking the Vikings. What am I doing? Nah, I believe in Taylor Heineke, though. I don't think the Vikings can defend the run that well. Or can they? No, they're starting Jaren Hall. Dobbs doesn't know the offense quite enough yet to play. I think it's a similar enough offense in Arizona and Minnesota, though, where it's like not too different, but I think they need more than like 4 days. Yeah, it's going to be a bad game. I don't know if the Vikings will have enough offense, to be honest with you, to like play in this game. Whereas like the Falcons can do just enough with like a slightly underrated defense to completely kind of slow down the Vikings, run the ball a shitload, just kind of do mediocre passing with Heineke and probably win this game. It just feels like a game the Falcons should be able to win at home. And you got to remember the Falcons have a lot more to play for than the Vikings do at this point. They're literally like a game out of first place, possibly in first place for Tampa Bay. Yeah, they're like in first place right now. So you have the first place Atlanta Falcons, man, or like tied for first place Atlanta. I'm going to give the Falcons a little respect here. I know the golden rule is you don't pick the Falcons. They're in first place, though, so I guess I got to pick them here. I don't fucking know. All right, let's move on. This game sucks. Let's talk about a real football game. I don't know why this is still a 1 o'clock. Why didn't they flex this to 4 o'clock? They can do that like a week before the week starts. This should be like the game of the week on Fox. Like fucking Cowboys Eagles, actually. Yeah, this is a tough week, man. Fucking poor Seahawks and Ravens just got put to the doo-doo side. They're like, tough break. You guys got to go be the best 1 o'clock game. Probably almost in league history. Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg tore his ACL, which is really sad. That sucks. He looks miserable. He has the look of a nerd who realized he shouldn't have been doing that shit. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his eyes. He looks like a nerd who's terrified about what just happened to his body. He's like, oh, I'm done with this. Telling you, go look at his eyes in that picture. That's a nerdy ass dude who reverted right back to 17-year-old Mark and was like, oh gosh, I shouldn't have never did this. Actually, nah, he's a pretty extreme guy. He surfs and does a bunch of shit. He'll be fine. What's up, Amir? You think the Ravens smash this game? I like the Ravens to win, but I think it's going to be a really close game. And if it was in Seattle, I'd take Seattle. Yeah, it's 100% not going to happen now. And I think they both canceled it. I think they were just because Elon put all those weird stipulations on it being at the Coliseum in Rome, and I don't think it was ever really going to be a thing. Yeah, basically, Seattle's run defense any better than it was in the last couple years, like earlier this season and last year? That's my one question about this game. And you know what I heard Seattle say this week? About their key to beating Lamar. What's up, Roll? I heard an actual Seahawks coach say this. Pete Carroll. The key to beating Lamar is to contain him. And I went, didn't we just see what happened when the Lions did that? The Ravens, did you know the Cardinals? They ran 0 contain against Lamar. Why? After you see a guy shred a contained defense, you stop doing that even if they can run the ball. You just go, all right, we have to put a light spy on him then. Lamar doesn't want to run the football like that anymore. I think he literally just wants to throw it. He's very open about that. And to me, when the Seahawks are saying shit like they want to contain him and hold him in the pocket, I'm like, okay. I don't think that's a really good idea. I think you're right. I think you should make him uncomfortable and run him out. What do you mean make him uncomfortable and make him run out of the pocket? Your scouts should be telling you why. I wonder if that's a smokescreen from the Seahawks. Yeah, I see a mini shootout. I don't see either team beating any team really good. Like a 24-21 type game, 28-24. I would say a lot of the 3-win teams are out of the playoff picture in the AFC as well. But I guess that's just kind of a matter of opinion. What's up, Phil? There are way too many teams with like fucking 4 or 5 wins in the AFC. I think if you're not at least 4 wins in the AFC, I think your season's effectively over. Yeah, usually I would agree with you, Ro, 100%. But it feels like there are so many like 6. Let's see, there's 2 6, a third 6. You know what I mean? Like there's 3 6-win teams in the AFC and there's only 7 playoff spots. I don't know if 3 wins is safe. All the best games are headlining each time spot, and I bet apparently they're all going to be on like as televised as they can, Ven. Apparently the league did make a bunch of like effort to put this game to make sure this Ravens Seahawks game is like televised. Like this is going to be like on every CBS broadcast, and it's annoying as shit because it's going to be the game I have to watch. Yeah, I got the Ravens too. Seattle, I don't think they've beaten a good team except Detroit. And the Baltimore Ravens fucking destroyed Detroit. So I'm like, all right, common opponent. I'll take the Ravens. Plus, like the Ravens are not going to be fooled with what Seattle can do on offense because Geno Smith is just like a worse version of Lamar Jackson. I don't count division games for trying to figure out common opponents. Which Dallas and Eagles was primetime over Jets and Chargers? Yeah, Jets Chargers isn't going to be very good primetime. Oh, so there's 4. Yeah, Jags have 6 wins as well. Thank you, Phil. And the Steelers have 5 wins, so that's 5 teams. I mean, the Browns have PJ Walker at quarterback. It's not really that hard to beat them right now. He's the wish. No, he's the Temu.com Lamar. He's from Temu. Or he's like, you know the streaming service Tubi? He's like if the movie service Tubi decided to make a movie about Lamar Jackson, they would cast Geno Smith to play the character. It's just a hilarious, like, and it would just make no sense, but like they'd be like, look how good he is, and it's just Geno Smith playing quarterback. That's a good joke if you know what Tubi is. I'm telling you, that's a really funny joke. It's like it's like a 6 out of 10 for me. It's like a 4 out of 10 in a real joke, but you know, for me, that's pretty good. The good thing is too, yeah, we're watching that game 100%, Phil. I don't really have the best analysis on why I think the Ravens are going to win. I'm just calling it a gut feeling. I gave a little bit reasons, the way that both teams played the Lions. I think is significant. I think the home fact that I like the fact that the Ravens are home. I think Lamar is playing at an MVP level. I've seen a few games where the Seahawks haven't looked the sharpest on offense this year, and I've seen the Ravens defense play at a very high level this year to a point where I think they can shut down the Seahawks offense, which has been kind of shaky. They're starting like a 40. How old is Jason Peters? Or Lane Johnson? Who the fuck is the guy that they just like brought up? He's from the Eagles, but he's like 42 years old. So, like, they have offensive line woes, and I think that's going to be what might hurt them. Like, that could be significant. Again, he's a great offensive lineman. He's borderline. It's probably a Hall of Famer if it's Peters. I think it is Peters. But again, you know, he's a little older, and this is his first start of the year, so... I don't think the Seahawks are fraudulent. They have a really solid like secondary. Their defensive front's a little hit and miss. Their offense is pretty solid. Their offensive line isn't great. But other than that, it's a pretty solid team, man. But again, the road situation is kind of fair. If this was in Seattle, I think I probably would be going Seattle. Oh, Washington just added another score. Let's go Washington. Woo. Caleb Williams is doing bad on Caleb or Ven, I do have another question. I asked earlier, but I don't think you heard me. Does Caleb really have 9 or 30 turnovers this year, or is that in his entire career in college? Because I seen a crazy stat where somebody said he has 30 turnovers, and I was like, this dude's trying to throw his draft stock. He's praying the Bears do not draft him right now. He's like, anybody but Chicago. Please, God. Yeah, I'll look for the tweet. I think it's from JPA Football or like ML Football, one of them dog shit places. Yeah, I'm like, that's got to be his career turnovers. Because there's no way he's turned the ball over 30 times. If it is, it's like, damn, dude, that dude really doesn't want to go number 1 to Chicago. He's about to have the worst combine of all time. He's gonna run a 10 to 20 second 40. He's just gonna walk the 40-yard dash 3 times. Be like, that's as fast as I can go. He's gonna look like me trying to jump where he does like the double foot push off, where he kind of like momentum leaps off the ground. Complete 0 passes on the passing tree. Guess I just lost it or something. I can't play no more. No bad team should draft me, man. I can't save a team. Caleb would be my favorite quarterback ever if he did that shit. 30 career fumbles. That's really bad. That's significant in my opinion. I don't know if he's doing that shit on purpose to avoid being drafted, though. That's really annoying, dude. Because fumbling, it could be, he could just literally be dropping the football because he doesn't want to get drafted to Chicago. Like, dude, that's so, I can't figure that out. 30 career fumbles. That's the tweet I seen. Okay, it was Dove. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Okay, so that's significant. I do think that that's actually a problem, but I don't know if he's doing that on purpose to ruin his draft stock. I have a really weird feeling he's doing weird shit to not get drafted to where he doesn't want to. Dude, he doesn't want to go to Chicago. I think that's very obvious. That's a real deep gut feeling. But if the Patriots are sitting there at like number 2, he might want to go to New England. You see how that kind of plays out? Like if you had the choice and you seen the Patriots sitting at 3 and you see the Bears sitting at 1 and 2, you're just like, oh God, all I have to do is get past them 2 picks and I could go be a starter in the NFL for one of the best teams ever. Or I have to go play for the Bears. I guess I'll just play back. See, do you see where my dilemma is right here? Like, he could, like, I've often thought he was going to tank his status somehow, and I'm 100% guessing it's them fumbles. Some bad team is going to overthink that fumble thing, and 100% think it's like he's got a fumble problem, and he's not trying to tank himself. The Patriots are only giving up like 24 points a game. That's the funny thing about what you just said. If you put literally an offensive, yeah, you're whatever you say, extra. What do you want, extra? By the way, what are you doing here, buddy? See you later. Yeah, I'm telling you, that kid's tanking himself. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, let's move on to game of the week. A possible game of the year contender. The Cardinals play the Browns. The return of a very highly anticipated quarterback for this game. Very well respected quarterback, not by women, but by people in Cleveland and Ohio. Sean's back. Sanders family way does coach as cross chain out. Yeah, I mean Deion Sanders is he was a real flashy fun guy. I don't know, I got the Browns winning. I don't really think the Cardinals have anywhere near the offense. You know what's funny about this game is they're gonna start this rookie quarterback, and Kyler's 100% healthy enough to play in this football game. He could be back this week. He'll be back next week, like 1,000,000%. Kyler Murray's back in their next game. He's not playing in this game because they're not risking that shit against this fucking defense and Myles Garrett. Yeah, basically it's like, you want to see Myles Garrett kill a rookie quarterback a few hundred times? Well, come watch this game. It'll be pretty funny. Yeah, basically the reason we're not seeing Kyler make his return is because of who they're playing. Otherwise, Kyler's good enough to play. He has no injury designation anymore. Well, he does. They're saying, knee, but it's like, no, you don't. Dude, you literally had just a full practice this week. You literally ran the scout team defense to prepare them for Deshaun. The fuck do you mean you're not healthy enough to play? By the way, I'm not kidding about that. Kyler was running is he's healthy enough to run the entire scout team defense, or the scout team offense to prepare the defense versus a similar team. What they might see versus Deshaun, and you know what that means? That means Kyler's 100% healthy enough to return to actual football games. But they're literally like, man, nope, not against this team. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Browns in this one due to that fact, because the Cardinals clearly, they're like, we're fine with losing this one. All right, this is a tough game actually, because Stafford's like a game time decision. Yeah, I mean, picking up Kyler wouldn't be a bad idea. It's just he's not going to play this one. Yeah, Kyler's going to come back and win 8 games somehow, dude. It's going to be annoying as shit. He's going to come back like a well, especially since that Call of Duty sucks. He ain't got nothing to do. You know, he's mad as hell, too. Kyler called that new Call of Duty blows ass, dude. You know, he's pissed. He's like, I ain't even got anything to do at home anymore. Call of Duty sucks now. He's just fucking tearing up on the sign. What's the matter, Kyler? Modern Warfare 3 blows. He's punching drywall at his house right now. He's just ready to go back to football. I'm just not gonna play anymore then. I'm fucking done. All right, let's move on to the Rams and Packers. I'm just gonna keep making Kyler Murray jokes. You know what I'm excited about though? My favorite part of Kyler Murray returning. Yeah, that's sad that autofills. Hold on, where's a good one? Or some good little Kyler? Oh, there. This is the classic. This might be one of my favorite pictures on the entire internet. This is literally my favorite thing on the. Do you remember when we were streaming and I showed this picture and I was like, guys, the NFL doesn't want you to know that this is the real height of Kyler Murray. Do you remember the guy who had a freak out reaction? It wasn't even extra shots. It was like a legitimate person. He's like, dude, I hope you know Kyler Murray isn't that fucking small. And I was like, what? And then we found the other one where he's smaller again against like he's running across the goal line. And I'm like, dude, there's 2 pictures of him this size. You don't know the TV they edit. There's a smaller delay for Cardinals games because they edit his size up to make him look normal. I was like, you don't know this? Dude, he was mad as fuck that I was doing that. I don't know why he got so angry about that. It's like a funny meme. Kyler's really good at football though, despite him being a little guy. That's like the funniest part about him being so little. He's really good. He got nerfed. You know that's why he's that size. Could you imagine him at fucking Lamar's size? He would be ungoddamn stoppable, dude. He'd be able to throw the football 800 yards. Think about this. He's 5'8", can throw the ball, 70 yards off a flick of his wrist? Clearly one of the better athletes to actually play football. I really like Kyler Murray, if you can't tell. I literally think he's one of the best quarterbacks. It's just like when he's that little and he does so much good shit. Dude, it's I hate saying it, but yeah, he's basically Caleb Williams. His fear? I don't think Kyler has any fear, does he? All right, let's talk about the Rams Packers. I know you're a heightist. I know, Mike. Yeah, I know it's Caleb Williams, but I don't think Caleb's as good an athlete as Kyler, though. That's the problem, dude. The problem is Kyler might be literally one of the best athletes we've ever seen play quarterback, just like on a pure like pound for pound basis because he's so tiny. What's up, Kenny? Welcome back. Yeah, with the Packers, it's yeah, I know, Phil. I'm just messing around about Kyler. I think I'm the same height as Kyler. I think I'm like an inch taller than Kyler Murray. But he's also like built like this. That's why I don't really mind Kyler's height. Plus, he drops back like a million miles. So Kyler knows how to play short. So I don't really mind his height. A lot of quarterbacks, like Baker, knows how to play short. He takes a huge drop back. Kyler takes a huge drop back. And they both built themselves out like barrels. Yeah, I got the Rams. I don't know if the Packers offense is going to be able to do much against a really good Rams defense, like a surprisingly good Rams defense this year. Even without Stafford, I'm pretty confident in the Rams being able to do just enough against the Packers defense that just lost Rasul Douglas. Probably a little bit of deflation is going to happen in this game. Now, could the Packers suddenly get their offense going? I guess so. Like, until we see like the full game, it's really hard to just be like, yes, this is where they get it all figured out and everything finally clicks in together. And that kind of stinks. You know what I mean? It's like, it's going to be like a year before Green Bay gets this all together. They got to rebuild their lineup a little bit, maybe get another receiver in there. Sounds familiar. I know you're paying Green Bay. Welcome to hell. Not so bad here, actually. You know, it's pretty cool. They're pretty friendly after like a season or two. You'll get used to it. Trust me, if you guys are bad for more than a season or two, they let you back into the club then. I'm telling you, it's cool to be welcomed in back from other NFL fans. They don't even treat us. They just talk shit like normal. We're like a normal NFL team now. It's cool to be back. It's either Love or Drake May. Yeah, I'm guessing by about week 13, the Packers will know. Packers will be on Hard Knocks. Unless you guys fire LaFleur. The Rams defense isn't good. Yeah, exactly. I think Donald will be able to just completely throw Love off and kind of just win this game. The Rams defense anyway. Because again, just that first half could be enough to just sink the fucking Packers like it is every single week since like week 3. All right, Buccaneers, Texans. By the way, thank everyone showing up. This is one of the better streams we've done on this. I knew who would have thought the problem for my channel was streaming far too early? I thought streaming early would have been a good thing for the channel. I'm like, what, 8:30 would be perfect. That gives more people more. Oh, you degenerates were like, dude, you should just go. Didn't even say anything. I just started streaming at 10:30 again, and suddenly you guys are back. I'm like, all right, this works. That's cool. I appreciate it. What's up, Donnie? Makes no sense. This is the best views we've had in months. All I did was go back streaming at nighttime. You know what it is? I streamed for like 3 or 4 years at this time, and then I just suddenly went forward. I just suddenly went earlier. That ruined my channel. I gotta just be consistent. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Texans. Yeah, this game is going to be a split one, isn't it? They're both 3-4, and they both played like kind of similar football, where their offense looks okay, but they're both pretty good at defense, but they've had bad defensive games. I'm of the belief that both teams were mirages, but for different reasons. I think the Texans are just kind of a limited talent team where they played way better because people weren't really sure how to like play a team with all the new pieces that they had. Like basically their whole offense is brand new. It's basically a whole bunch of new guys on a defense, 2 brand new schemes. And they're playing kind of like middle of the road teams as it is. And obviously DeMeco Ryans is a very good head coach. I love NFL talk too. And I think we've seen that kind of advantage they've had over the last few weeks sort of start to fall off and diminish as they haven't really been able to beat anybody, culminating in a loss to the Panthers. And again, when I've seen that offense struggle against that Panthers defense that no one should struggle against, I have to imagine that Tampa Bay, with a pass game that actually works from time to time, that could do damage against the Bills, hit and miss, except for the fucking receivers dropped every good throw Baker Mayfield made that game. I just have this weird feeling in my head the Texans are going to lose this game, and it's going to be like a 20-17 type affair. But it's just like, I feel like the Texans are a little bit more of a mirage, whereas the Bucs have a super elite defense, and we know that the Buccaneers have this super elite defense. We've seen it all year. The only game they kind of looked bad was against like fucking Buffalo, and they didn't even really look that bad. And so I'm guessing the Texans offense that struggled against the Panthers at times is really going to struggle against this Bucs defense that didn't trade anybody. So I'm going Buccaneers because of the defense they have. Yeah, I think the Buccaneers are a mirage in terms of like the offensive prowess that they had, in terms of like how good they were at the start of the year. But they are a good defense. You can't really take that away, right? Well, they give up like fucking 24 points to the Bills. That's really good, dude. Like their offense is complete dog water. Like we can all agree to that. So they kind of were a mirage at the beginning of the year, but Mirage to me could be like a more severe to, it's like a scale thing almost for me. They were both like obviously like fake teams that weren't as good as what they were when the year started. But I think Tampa Bay's is more like one issue, whereas the Texans, they were good because of a scheming issue and the fact that like nobody really knew how to play them. And now that teams do, I don't think they can really take advantage of anybody, because it's like, all right, we all have the book on how to play you guys now. We have a book on how to play Stroud. We have a book on how to play a few, it's just going to take, they're young. It's all new. And again, we know the Bucs seem to have a very good defense, despite their offense being complete shit. I don't know if that's contradictory, though, to say one team's less of a mirage than the other. I think that, to me, that makes a ton of sense. I don't know why that does, to be like, they were both fucking fake to begin the year, and I had a feeling they were both fake. But the Buccaneers actually do have a really good defense. That seems to be true. Whereas I can't really tell with the Texans maybe have a good defense too, but anyway, let's go on to the Commanders-Panthers. We spent way too long on that shitty-ass game. This is possibly one of the greatest games I've ever seen. If you like low-scoring, offensive, retarded football, this is the game for you, I think. Bill Belichick and Ron Rivera, there was going to be like 8 points scored in this game total somehow. And I don't know how we're going to get there, but we're going to get there a couple field goals apiece and maybe a safety. This could be a clunker. I'm telling you, this could be goddamn awful. I hate saying that about my own team, but neither of these two teams are looking good. My team can't play offense. They can't play football. Luckily for them, they've played easier teams and somehow like still aren't, doing so great. We played a bunch of hard ass teams, so it explains our shitty record. Plus we can't, block anybody. But the best thing is they just traded their two best players away. Yeah, I'm going to be streaming this game. It's going to be miserable, man. But I'm going to be pretty stoked because, again, I kind of brought it up earlier. The Commanders have like the sixth worst passing secondary. So like they give up about 280 yards per game passing. And when Mac Jones does play defenses with those kind of like passing things, he averages about 245 passing yards per game, which is about his highest. So that does kind of indicate that Mac's probably going to have a pretty decent game throwing the ball, especially with the limited pass rush that the Commanders bring with the trading of Sweat and Young. So I'm kind of liking that. I was already liking them before they traded those two guys. Because again, outside of those two, if you can limit their damage on the game, prior to that, it's pretty minimal. I wouldn't say my team's defense is bad. We held you guys to 24 points. I believe we held Diggs to one of his worst games of the year. And if you're going to bring up Miami as a reference, that touchdown was bullshit at the end. That should have been a fumble. 1. And 2, we gave him the touchdown so we could maybe get the ball back, score, and then kick an onside kick and try and score. There's a strategy to giving up a touchdown rather than letting them milk the clock. So 24-17 to consecutive high-powered offenses. Yeah, the Patriots' defense sucks, especially with all them players out that were out. Well, it's Commanders at Patriots. I don't know where you heard Panthers. I maybe was referencing the Panthers, but I'm not really too sure. I don't remember saying Panthers. I maybe said Panthers, but that's a misspeak. And you should have known that was a misspeak because it's Commanders at Patriots. Or I've specifically only mentioned Patriots players, so that should have, you know, if I misspeak, that's my fault. I'm pretty sure I don't remember doing that. I could have. I misspeak sometimes. I'm not perfect. Could the Commanders win this game? Yeah, my team can't score points. It's as simple as that. It's just like, who knows? My team's we've had 2 good offensive games. Well, 1 good offensive game this year, 1 against Buffalo. Everyone else, we've shit the bed against. So, I don't know. Oh, man. There's like a couple bad games in a row, and then all the other games are good. You know what's weird about this week? There are a bunch of really bad games, like it starts here, and here, and here. Like all these games suck, but like everything around them is pretty good. Like you got these 3 games that are pretty solid. Whatever. This game's good. These games are good. And in my head, this is a good game. I don't know why I keep thinking that that's going to be a shockingly good football game. The pun was on. I hope you guys appreciated that. That was a good. That was like 8 or 10, 9 out of 10 pun usage. Because you never even picked it up if I didn't point it out. That's how good that one was. The stunning use of my vocabulary. 2. That's 2. Fucking charged up. Does that one count? Never thought the Colts were going to be this bad after the kind of year they had last year. Yeah, the Colts are, I don't know. They're in hell right now. They're in that weird quarterback hell right now. Quarterback carousel of hell that comes from doing the deal with Peyton Manning. If you do a deal with the devil, you get what you deserve with Peyton. You know, my animosity for that guy's almost gone. If the Lions make the playoffs and win a playoff game, or even, God forbid, a Super Bowl, I won't even hate Peyton Manning anymore. You know what sucks for me is now the football gods are going to be like, oh yeah, let's see if he'll be honest about that. And then I'm going to just have to be like, I guess I don't hate him anymore, I guess. I guess it's just strong indifference. All right. That's the beginning of my Bears and Saints analysis. I got the Saints winning. Saints at home, their defense is usually unstoppable there. I don't really know who's starting for the Bears. Could be Fields, could be Badgett. I don't really give a shit. Montez Sweat can make a good impact in this game, keeping the score rather low. But again, I do think the Saints have a pretty good defense. They're 4-4. They're very good at home. So yeah, Saints will probably win this game pretty handily. It'd be wild if the Bears came in and just had another shoot, because like the Bears have won like 2 I think blowout wins. If I'm not mistaken, aren't both of their wins like by like hilarious big fashion? No, I don't watch them idiots talk about football. I don't care what either of them have to say about the game. What are they doing? Just making fucking Tom Brady cheating jokes all day? Wow, that's funny. Every time I hear that fucking guy speak, he's taking pot shots at the Patriots. I'm sick of it. Let's not go down the Peyton Manning route. We don't have to go here. Because we're just going to really derail ourselves before we get to good lead in here, though. We got the Colts and the Panthers. Anybody got the Panthers? I don't. It'd be cool to hear why you do. We all here, I think, have the Indianapolis Colts winning this game. But I'd be curious to see if anybody's got the Panthers. And why. Minshew's been scoring like 30 a game since he took over, so I have no faith in the Panthers being able to stop this team. You mean the Chicago Bears are getting that #1 draft pick? The Panthers traded away their number 1 pick to get the number 1 pick last year. And they traded away DJ Moore to get that number 1 pick last year. Traded their whole future for Bryce Young. It's a hilarious move that they shouldn't have did. Do you guys now see why I was screaming from the rooftops all year, from the start of last season, throughout the entirety of the 2022-2023 NFL season, and now so far, the entire offseason, the entire draft process, the entire preseason, the entire to now. And I will keep screaming this. I don't know why. I guess Houston got away with it, but if you drafted a quarterback last year, you're one of the dumbest motherfuckers I've ever seen. Honestly, if you drafted a quarterback in 2021's even pushing. Even my team's kind of stupid. They should have looked forward and seen what 2024 had to bring, but you can't really wait that long. 2022, 2023. Why did you draft a quarterback? The fuck are you doing? How unserious of a football team can you be? I'd have sat that one out. I'd have been like, nah, I'm good. Why? There's like 10 guys in 2024 that are better than everybody since 2020. It's like, it goes like Lawrence, Mac's probably out now. We don't know anything about Trey Lance. And now it's the 2024 guys since 2021. Hell, 2020 wasn't even good. Dude, I genuinely don't know what they... No, the Patriots were right to draft a quarterback. Mac could still be good. Mac is kind of similar to Kirk Cousins, in which Mac's going to need a lot of help to succeed in the NFL, right? You're going to have to give him receivers. You're going to have a line. But I do think his ceiling can be Kirk. And I think that's a good place to be, because Kirk on a better coached team probably could win a Super Bowl. Yeah, Mac was also taken in the middle of the round. Let's also remember that. Not like he's a top 10 pick. So again, there is these really like there's just so many things that puzzle me. It's like, why did anyone draft a quarterback last year knowing Caleb Williams, Drake May, all these other guys were coming out? 2023, there's no excuse. 2022, you can make the argument that you were just no one really took a quarterback anyway. 2021, you can make the excuse you're too far away. You know, that's like 4 years of just being shitty, which you can't really afford to do. Marvin Harrison could very well be a Colt, but I think the Colts are going to be way out of that draft position to get him. So I have the Colts winning. That's all that was basically to say I got the Colts. All right, this game, normally we'd kind of just skip right past it to talk about the Cowboys and the Giants. But yeah, we got to pray we steal Marvin Harrison and send him to his dad's most hated team. Then you guys are greedy and you know it. We need him. Like, what? Are we supposed to let the fucking Steelers get 7 Super Bowls? Because that's the reality that you're going to, at some point, have to deal with. Is me or us or the Steelers that are going to get the most one day. And you got to pick who you think is who's more worth it. Let that sink in. Or, God forbid, the 49ers win a couple more. Yeah, there's no way you guys. Yeah, there's unless your team's picking top 5, you're not getting Marvin Harrison next year. We can all agree on that anyway. All right, Giants and Raiders. Yeah, that's what I mean. So we can't afford to let the 49ers get the fucking 6 and 7. Or the Cowboys. Another one of your arch rival teams. Gotta remember, those are the dangerous teams at the top. It's the only good 2 teams up there is us and Pittsburgh. I would normally pick the Giants 1,000% and 1,000,000 times over on Tuesday because the way their defense has been playing. But And Daniel Jones is back. I'm a big Danny Dimes guy. I've always been a supporter. Never forget, 2022 was a magical season, especially for us Danny Knights. But I'm very nervous about Daniel Jones playing in this game. They don't got an offensive line. And like last week, he had total left side weakness, and now he's going to play in a football game. I don't know how well this is going to go for him. God, dude, I really hope he doesn't get hurt. I like him as a person, but I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this game. That Raiders defense really impressed me with what they did against the Lions. They had that shit neutralized. I know the Lions gave a lot of yards, but the Raiders kept stopping them, right? Bend don't break typically will give up yards, which is one of the reasons the Patriots never have a top defense, is because they end up giving up fuckloads of yards for some reason, but like no points. Again, bend don't break is an actual thing teams do. And I think the Raiders will let you get yards, but then they'll clamp up inside of like right about the 30-yard line, they clamp up. And I don't know if the Giants have the offense to overcome that. And they have no kicker tomorrow. Like they have a bunch of kickers they tried out, like Fat Randy and somebody else, and a whole bunch of like random dudes they tried out, and they're just hoping to God one of them can kick, because Graham Gano's out with knee surgery. So all those factors and more tell me I'm going to pick the Raiders. Plus, Max Crosby sent some cool ass shit the other day. Real ass dude. According to everybody, I've looked into this, by the way. I've looked into this. Apparently, he has a stutter. Now, how believable is that convenient news? I don't know. Joe Biden has a stutter, and he never accidentally stuttered out what sounded suspiciously like the N-word. But again, with a stutter, what word was he trying to say? Because the word that came after the cut definitely wasn't any N-word. Or, you know what I mean? Nothing he was saying. Anyway. And then the hilarious video came out of him rapping on the sidelines and just dropping the N-word real casual to the song. Oh, he said some crazy shit. You can find some politicians saying some wild shit across. You can just look up compilations of politicians saying crazy shit. And it's like, damn, dude, these are real people. Trump has said some wild ass shit too, man. Remember when Trump tweeted out that he was going to rain hellfire on Iran? That shit went so fucking hard, but it's also wild to hear the president saying that out loud. There's nothing funnier than when people shouldn't say shit that they, or say the shit that they shouldn't say like that. It's like, oh, I wouldn't have said that part. That's part of my analysis for the Raiders and the Giants, by the way. Also, as Mike pointed out, the Raiders fired Josh McDaniels. The whole team's super fired up, super ready to go, ready to play for Antonio Pierce, who, if you remember Antonio Pierce, he was not only a member of those Giants teams, but if you remember the recent freakouts of one Chandler Jones, do you remember who he kept screaming about that should be the head coach and he's like the real leader of the team? It was Antonio Pierce. If we were all remember this very, very, very clearly, at least I do. I swear to God that he was saying like at the linebacker coach Alex Pierce should be the coach. Do we remember this? Or am I like completely imagining this? Like, this wasn't part of Chandler Jones freakout, because he kept saying a specific person on the team and I think it was his position coach, and he plays fucking linebacker, so I can only assume one thing. You know what I mean? Like, well, this must be the guy that they wanted. Now the whole team looks like they're having fun. They look like they're closer than ever before. And that's like a big thing. And interim coaches rarely ever lose the first game they took over. Remember, even Jeff Saturday won his first game, which is pretty crazy to think about. See you later, man. I'll be live tomorrow morning. Bright and early. And then we'll be live for the Patriots. All the games. All right, we spent way too much time on this. I'm going to take the Raiders, especially at home. Giants offense is banged up, especially at quarterback. Bad line. halfway decent defense from the Raiders. Even they struggled against the run though. But again, I think part of the reason why they struggled against the run versus Detroit was because they were trying to stop the pass, with the assumption that the rookie running back that the Lions used wouldn't really do much damage because there hasn't really been much sign of him doing major damage in a game. Again, they sold out to stop the pass, which cost them against the run, and I think those things were kind of evident. They made a bad business decision, and Jahmyr Gibbs just was like, "All right, I'm gonna become a real NFL running back now," and that was what happened. I think that's a big part of what happened in that game. All right, let's move on to the final 3 good games of the weekend. We have America's Game of the Week: Cowboys and Eagles. My gut tells me that the Cowboys are going to win this game. No, the Eagles are. Sorry, I misspoke. That the Eagles are going to win this game for one reason. I know the Eagles have looked like shit in about 7 of their games, 8 of their games this year. They haven't looked good once. But I hate to say this, they've beaten every good team that they've played. And the only times they actually look like the Super Bowl defender, like the team that went to the Super Bowl, is when they play teams that are good. Like, I feel like if you go look at their schedule, all their good wins are against good teams. So they play to their competition, right? Or they play to what their competition is capable of playing to, which is why they lost to the Jets. They struggle with the Commanders. Like, the teams that they don't do good against are like bad teams. It's like the funniest like football team. So again, you go look at the Cowboys and you kind of run into this weird polar opposite where Dallas will beat up on the Patriots. They'll beat up on these bad teams like they're not even there. But if you throw Dallas against Dallas lost to a good team this year, and I can't remember who it was. The 49ers, that's who it was. They got their Dussy breed. They got their Dussy breed in. That's the Dallas pussy, is the Dussy. Damn, that made me lose all the way down to 6 people. People are like, all right, I'm out of here. This dude's talking about Dussies. I don't even know what the fuck a Dussy is. Oh, that's the Dallas pussy. All cowgirls got one. It's just replacing the word pussy with the D. Trying to explain online jokes to people who don't know what those are is always awkward. So what's a bussy? Oh, it's a guy's asshole. It's what gay dudes call their buttholes. It's a very funny internet term. And try not to sound like a crazy person when you explain things like that to people is really it's quite a good gamble game you can play. All right. So, for part of those reasons, again, Eagles have looked good against good teams. Even in the games that they lose, or the games that they're not looking good, they still wind up winning, which is an important thing. They can play good, they can play bad and still win. They can play off their usual look and still win. So, even if you try and throw them off their game plan, they're still capable of winning games. Whereas with the Cowboys, again, they have what they beat the you know what I mean? No major big win that just pops out at you and goes, oh yeah, this is who they beat. Yeah, we're talking about the Cowboys and the Eagles. All right. Almost done here, folks. I think we could bounce over to the next game. I think no one really had too much more to say on that one. Bills, Bengals. All right, Sunday Night Football. No reason why this game should feel weird or have any tension to it. First time in a while that these two teams have ever played on prime time since the playoffs. You know, DeMar Hamlin can do the funniest thing on Sunday. Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna play tomorrow. But yes, this is kind of a weird game because again, I think it was a little under a year ago. Today, or a little under a year ago, that the last two times these teams met up for a regular primetime season game, the game lasted all of about 10 minutes before DeMar Hamlin got hit in the chest and basically died. And thanks to the medical staffs of both teams, I think the Bills primarily, or the Bengals. I think it was the Bengals. He was, he survived. He's still playing. Obviously, he's played in games this year, so that's pretty cool. So that's kind of got that little tension going around the game. That's kind of interesting. Are they just like replaying this from last year? Well, to be fair to Hamlin, he's not that great at safety. So the reason I'm going with the Bengals in this game is it's like a very specific thing I've seen the last couple weeks out of the Bills, and this is the only reason I give them the slight edge over the Bengals, or the Bengals the slight edge. Defensively, the Bills are playing are playing decently without. Well, number one, they've lost almost all their good players on defense, so that's like not all of them, but they've lost a good chunk of them, and they're going up against one of the better offenses in the NFL that's white hot. So that's never a good start to like a few problems I have. And then we see a couple other problems start to pop up for me, specifically against the Patriots and then against the Buccaneers the last 2 weeks for them, right? You see the game against the Patriots in which they reclaim the lead with almost no time left on the clock. They then blow the game and lose to the Patriots after letting them come back basically throughout the fourth quarter to basically the Bills just lost that fourth quarter, and that's how they lost the game. And then against Tampa Bay, they were seemingly doing really well. Then Tampa Bay scored, made it like this weird one-score game, and then the Buccaneers got it as far as like if you add another 10 to 15 seconds on that clock, the Buccaneers probably get close enough where it's not even a Hail Mary. It's just, can Baker find a window into the end zone? So it's kind of just like due to time, the Buccaneers ran out of time, or ran out of a comeback. So the Bills got saved. But again, you've seen two near collapses at the end of the game for the Bills, with almost no time on the clock. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, that's really suspicious against two bad offenses. You should be able to shut them down enough to not allow a near comeback in consecutive weeks, especially if the Bucks could have still won that game, because like had Godwin been able to turn around quicker or see the ball a little bit better, like he could have caught that shit. He's like, it was like wide, nobody was near that thing, and he was kind of almost open. So those got to be real careful about shit like that heading into this week, because again, the Bengals are a very good offense. And I don't like a team when they're losing really close, like, Yeah, Phil, I don't really care about the semantics. You guys, you guys held on to that game because Godwin missed on a Hail Mary. Because he didn't get out of position to catch it. Like, you don't understand how close you came to losing that game, I feel like. Your team almost collapsed and lost 2 games in a row via walk-offs. Now you're up against an actual offense. I don't think that bodes well for your defense, especially since your defense is still missing quite a few guys. Should have never been that close for them in the first place, that they only needed 2 touchdowns to come back to win that game, and then they got 1, and they stopped you guys, and then they got the ball back. And they almost won on a Hail Mary. You know what I mean? It's like that, and then you blew it against the Patriots. Again, it's nothing really too personal against your team here. It's just more along the lines of like, they did really good against the Dolphins, and now it's like What's up with the defense here? I don't know. Bills feel like they have something to prove this week. Because they're just so... I don't know what it is. I don't even hate the Bills or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, just trying to be, like, mean or shitty about it. Something feels off with the Buffalo Bills this season, and I'm not 100% sure as to what it could possibly be right now. So, all right. Final game: Chargers and Jets. It's on about 1 million channels. You can watch it on ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN Deportes. Yeah, and the Bengals look white out right now. They've been nearly playing perfect football. What's up, politics? Welcome back. Man's was laying in the cut. Yeah, I got a Jets upset here as well. I just really don't believe in Brandon Staley. You're good. You're good, buddy. I appreciate you coming back in. Yeah, Kevin's like, fuck yeah, he actually picked the Jets. Blowout if the Bills offense can come out swinging. I mean, they gotta do that. But I don't really see the Bengals just not scoring against you guys. Yeah, that could also be a thing because there's massive reports that Staley's entirely lost the locker room at this point. Despite their win last week, I've heard he's lost the locker room, which wouldn't be that surprising. McDaniels lost the locker room and he was gone within a week. So, again, if politics, even if you guys lose, it could be a win-win. Or like a lose-win. You may lose the game, but... I swear, hold on, let me look for something. I almost can prove this. Hold on, let me bring this up. It's like if you like Twitter Staley lost locker room, you'll find all kinds of people talking about it. Playing more man work, why not play man the whole game? And then it's just basically like, so Staley came out and gave out this explanation, right? And then the players came in and just said a whole bunch of different shit about what went wrong. So basically, one side saying one thing, the players are saying the complete opposite. It's like this weird thing of like there's signs to say like normally you'd be in simpatico with your coach on stuff like this. But again, that could be people reading into things. My main thing here is the Jets have played very good against good quarterbacks this year and nearly been able to beat a lot of good teams. Their defense is very much top of the line. Oh yeah, the Eckler video too. Again, I'm not even saying you guys. I personally don't think you guys are going to drop the game on purpose, but I think it's going to be a combination of the Jets defense being completely cracked out at home, maybe a little bit of edge taken away from your team because the Staley situation is weird. The Jets have been very good at getting the quarterbacks this year and really messing with them. I don't think anyone's had a good game against the Jets this year, literally except like Dak Prescott. No, yeah, right. The Jets? I don't really think that matters too much. They're fucking garbage anyway. This game's going to be like 14. It's like 17-14. Like, yeah, that's they just played the Giants last week, who have a very good pass rush too, and they still won. I think the Giants have a better defense than you guys, or at least like the last 2 games, the Giants have had an unreal defense. Didn't really help them. And I'm not even too sold on this upset. I just have this weird gut feeling this is going to be an upset. I mean, it's possible. You guys should win this game. Talent-wise, you guys should not be 3-4. I don't even fucking understand this. This is the season I thought you guys were going to be rise up and take the division from Kansas City, but apparently I was wrong. You guys were supposed to be my avatar this year. I was supposed to be able to fight through you guys, but you guys fucking that coach sucks. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I don't blame you, politics. It's just something weird. Dude, I never would pick the Jets to upset anybody. You don't know how bad this makes me feel. It's just every week when I've ignored my big upsets or like a gut feeling, I've gotten something astronomically wrong where it's just like where I feel stupid because in the back of my mind, something is screaming at me going, you got to take this upset. And I've been ignoring it, but now I've embraced it the last couple weeks. And I've been picking a lot better. Or at least I embraced it last week. Got a couple games I was surprised about. This week, I went gut on the Steelers winning. And, you know, I had a few reasons why I also think the Jets will win. I think the Jets defense will just frustrate the Chargers offense. We'll see. I picked the Raiders. Yeah, the Raiders are real bad. They don't have... Chargers do have Herbert, though, so that always complicates things. He's really good. I can't wait to see him with actual coaching. Damn, tomorrow's going to be weird, dude. Waking up super early. Damn, I just seen a video of Caleb Williams bawling on the sideline. That's pretty sad. I knew Michael Penix was the right move. That dude crying and shit. He's closer to Dak Prescott than fucking Kyler Murray. Maybe. It'd probably help. I'll probably stay live for another 5 minutes, guys, because it's almost midnight. And we have a busy-ass day tomorrow. You guys want to know how many games? We're doing 3-ass games tomorrow. I've already made all the VODs, well, not the VODs, but the Scream, you know. I made all 4 of my my shits for this weekend. We got the Chiefs and the Dolphins one made up. They're not. I'm not going to show you. We got the Commanders Patriots one made up. We got the Bills Bengals one made up, and obviously the Chargers Jets one. But you guys don't get to see them yet. Every single Chargers interception was on, man. Well. I don't know why I don't have a good answer to what you just said, but it's, I don't know. We'll see. Time for me to go. It was midnight. I want to be going to bed. I have to get up early tomorrow. we'll see. Again, politics. We don't think your team is bad, by the way. If you guys had a better coach, you'd probably be one of the best teams in football. You probably should be. Maybe one day, Cheeto, he will. Yeah, we got a couple. We gotta wait 2 days to get there, though. That's always the bitch about it. Again, your team is probably pound for pound one of the more talented teams in the NFL, if not, arguably, if not the most talented, just in terms of like just pure raw talent on the roster. It's up there. It's top 3, top 5, if you're fucking really a big hater. But again, you gotta. What's the expression? A Lamborghini on $20 tires. Or $100 tires or something like that. There's like a saying where you have this beautiful fucking, machine on some dingy ass tires. It'll be good. I'm not even too. To be fair, politics proves some people wrong. The only people I feel like I've seen pick the Jets are Jets fans, me, Ven, and like one other person. Everyone else I've seen has picked the Chargers, so this is kind of just like a crazy upset pick I'm in. But again, you maybe are in different. You're maybe in different circles. Again, I'm not in any Jets or any Chargers circles, so I don't really see any hype on this game. So, I got an admitted blind spot. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, Jets fans pretty much have predicted themselves to go undefeated for the last like 2 decades, 3, 4 decades probably. I don't think them dudes have ever thought they were going to lose a game. Now that is admirable, by the way. You'll have like a 0-14 Jets team going, we're about to beat the fuck out of the Patriots. It's a cool trait to have. They don't let losses get to them. Yeah, tomorrow's going to be a fun day. Really good early day. Good football all the way around. There isn't a bad slot. There isn't a bad slot tomorrow. You can watch early 9:30 Dolphins Chiefs, which we'll be covering, and then at the 1:00 you can watch the Seahawks Ravens. That's the good one for that slot, or the Commanders Patriots if you're a man of culture. And then of course at 4:00 you have the Cowboys Eagles. Then you have Sunday night, and then Monday night could be really good as well. All right, that's about that, guys. It's midnight. Tired. I'm ready to go to bed so I can wake up and hang out all day tomorrow. So hopefully we see you then. Bright and early. If not, I'll see you at 1. If not, I'll see you whenever I see you tomorrow. Hopefully at some point. Can go enjoy the OG Fortnite map. Where are you dropping in at? I don't play that game, but I know that's a phrase. You go into Tinny Town, whatever the fuck the name is. Gonna get on the Magic School Bus. Tilted Tower, nice. Do you Goku main? I seen a video today where a guy playing as Goku hit the Kamehameha wave and killed a whole bus. I was like, damn, that game fucking will piss me off. I ain't never gonna play that. So I was like, that literally looks like the worst experience I've ever seen in my life. I'm out. But everyone has their own thing, I guess. All right. Thank you guys again for a fun night. Have a good rest of your night. We'll see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you Monday. If not, we'll see you whenever we see you. Go Lions, go Tigers, and of course, it's always go Patriots. And once again,